Hmm? Ah!
You're listening to the Run for Your Lives podcast.
Hey everyone, welcome to the show. I'm Daphne.
And I'm Pake.
And this is the Run for Your Lives podcast.
This episode is the British folk horror film The Wicker Man. No, not the bees. Not the bees! Not the Nicolas Cage remake from the 2000s, but the one directed by the late Robin Hardy and released December 6th, 1973. The OG, the original, The Wicker Man.
Yep, we don't talk about the bees, that's all. We won't be talking about that at all. I'm not even going to mention it beyond this point. As a fan of the OG movie, I did go to see the reimagining in the theaters, and that's a no. And we'll move on. So, I thought you might find this one interesting because of the pagan religion.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, I just thought it would create a great conversation. I guess we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. There's also a lot of jokes because it's an older movie, so I'm going to tend to do that. But
yeah, I'm trying to be prepared. I've been working up to it all day, and now I'm just hoping that it's not going to be terrible. Fingers crossed. We'll get through it, and I won't want to cry.
There's one of the jokes I literally had to pause the movie because it's not going to be anywhere near as funny to anybody else because I was watching it at the time. But I made a joke, I wrote it down, and then I could not make it through the rest of the scene because of what I had written down as my joke. Then just ruined the whole scene for me, and it just kept making me laugh more and more. So I was very proud of myself. I made myself laugh very hard. So at least I'll have that.
You do like to crack yourself up.
I do.
It's something that in nearly 6 years of doing this podcast, I have come to love about you, that your reaction to things, and when you're watching something and we're talking about it after, and the things that you come up with to say that are ridiculous, it's just part of who you are, and I embrace it because it's fun. I mean, it has to be fun if we're still doing this podcast 6 years later. Otherwise, we would have quit a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're going to start this off the way that we always do, with some production notes. It was filmed in Scotland. Was based on the story Ritual, a 1967 horror novel by David Pinner. In 2006, Robin Hardy wrote a follow-up novel titled Cowboys for Christ, on May Day. And there was a film, The Wicker Tree, that was based on that novel. I have seen The Wicker Tree. We won't cover it. I think we'll leave it here.
I was looking into it. It has the same IMDb rating as the Nicolas Cage remake of this movie.
Yeah.
So, I think when I looked at them, they're both sitting at 3.8 on IMDb now. And this one is a 7.5, which, makes sense because this was good.
Yeah, Christopher Lee does make an appearance in The Wicker Tree, but that might be the most special thing about that movie. Having Robin Hardy involved in it, I thought, this could be interesting. Yeah, Cowboys for Christ is definitely, it's something. That's what they should have called it. They should have called the movie that and not tried to tie it to The Wicker Man. There are other little spin-off type things that have come out over the last 50 years. I can't believe that this movie's like 53 years old. I own it on a bunch of different versions. I've got DVDs, I've got I think I even downstairs in my basement have a VHS. Like I have just about every version except the newer like 50th anniversary editions. This is a movie I really liked. The version that we're covering is not my favorite version. The one that I like has more scenes that were not part of this one, but this is the one that's readily available for everyone to be able to watch. It's on Tubi for free, which is always good.
With ads. You made me watch a movie with ads. I can't believe you did this to me. But it was that or spend like $4 to rent it on Amazon Prime, and I didn't want to do that either.
No. So you watch it with ads. I sat through the ads too. I didn't put a DVD in. I sat through the ads. Because honestly, sometimes I'm too lazy to put a DVD in. It's easier to pay $3.
Yeah. Well, I'm not that bad. I won't spend money on a movie I already own, but I will stream a movie over putting a Blu-ray or DVD in when I have them sometimes. If I'm like, but it's also right here and I just have to press a button.
You know what's really interesting? The last time I was at Walmart, I noticed they still have the $5 DVD bin.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know if that still existed with streaming and everything.
I haven't found that. I haven't seen the $5 bin past. No, maybe it's, but I don't go back. I don't go to Walmart. I mean, I do.
Me
but
either.
I do grocery shopping there.
Yeah.
But I rarely ever venture out into the rest of the store very often anymore. Yeah. So
I might go in there once every 6 months, and usually it's with my nieces. So we're looking at very specific things, but I was in the electronics section and noticed that they still have the $5 bins, and I was just shocked. Like, it's not $5 Blu-rays, it's still the regular DVDs. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. I watched The Wicker Man today on our TV, which is a 4K TV. It came across pretty good. Like, it looked really sharp. I was surprised. I expected it was going to look, I don't know, like VHS because it's so old. There's a lot of lore, too, behind the actual movie film itself and what happened to it after the movie was filmed and put together, and then all the other pieces. There's so many rumors and stories about it. The budget for this movie was $810,000. It grossed $912,000 at the box office. It was 88 minutes long, at least this version was. Mm-hmm. Pake, give us a synopsis.
A Puritan police sergeant arrives in a Scottish island village in search of a missing girl who the pagan locals first claim never existed.
Yes. And then you learn very quickly as you go through this movie, this was a well-researched situation. And Sergeant Howie, he ended up in a bad spot because he was such a religious man. Mm-hmm. If he had just boned his fiancée, we would not have been having this conversation. Mm-hmm. Instead, he didn't. He didn't believe in it.
Yep.
So that is
lesson. Let that be the lesson, kids. Have sex now, or you'll die. Wait, no.
That doesn't sound right, Peg.
No, I don't think that's right.
Oh man.
Have sex as fast as you can, or you're going to get set on fire. No, I don't think that's the lesson.
No.
I don't know. There's something in there. We'll figure it out.
I mean, there were so many opportunities for him to get out of this that he didn't take. But also, I've seen this movie so many times. There were things about Howie that I really noticed in this episode that I had not really considered as much before. And I'm like, oh, yeah, there are things to talk about, you judgmental jerk.
I did wonder about that watching it from like this, because I was like watching it in 2026 where things are a lot more progressive depending on who you're talking to and where you're at in the country. But for the most part, like things are a lot more to where I was like, man, when this came out in the 70s, were people more Which, I mean, 70s were still very, again, depending on where you're at, like, we're on the back end of, like, a lot of the free love and hippie movement and stuff. So there's those people out there. So, I don't know, but I feel like a lot of you, like, middle America or whatever, that's, like, watching this movie at that time, did they side more with Sergeant Howie being like, yeah, these people are doing horrible things and you gotta shut it down? Or, like, because now watching it in 2026 where you're like, I mean, yeah, they're doing, if it's to believed, what he's thinking is that they're sacrificing these children. It's like, yeah, that's not good. Like, you can't blame that on our religion and culture is different. Like, no, that's not. But just his reactions to everything make him kind of a villain in the own right.
They do.
I do. It's a note because I have these notes just in like chronological order, but I'll skip to one if I can find it because I thought it was set up well. I said, oh yeah, this movie could also just be called Christian Man Gets Very Upset at Everything That's Different Than What He Believes in.
Yes, there was a point when I was taking my notes. I'm like, okay, you're mad about so many things, Howie. Mm-hmm. So many things. I don't
agree with that. How dare you?
Oh my God. Have they not heard of Jesus? And I'm looking for the quote because her quote response to him, he's like, have they not heard about Jesus Christ? And then she kind of throws it back at him, basically like resurrection versus reincarnation, I think. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he's not happy about that. He doesn't understand it. But it's just, yeah. This movie hits interestingly to me right now just because I feel like in our country, we're getting a resurgence of this pro-Christian values, and judgmentalism,
in quotations.
I guess. In quotations. And a judgmental, people are more judgmental about things that are different than what they believe. And so watching this and seeing Howie and his response to things that were different than what he believed, as you said, it's like, okay, yeah, I know it was a different time, but it seems like it's come around. It's been 50 years and we've come right back around and we're doing, things have not evolved that much.
Yeah. Tori, like, I wonder if there's like a more Puritan time where people are watching this to be like, yeah, this guy needs to go in and set things right versus watching it now and being like, you know what? I'm kind of glad that this guy gets burned alive at the end because he won't shut up.
Oh my God. Right from the beginning.
He's driving me crazy.
There are scenes that are in the version that I like the most that are not in this. And one of them is when he gets the letter and it's addressed to him. And knowing what happens at the end to him, you realize at the end, they set him up right from the very beginning. Yeah. They didn't want to sacrifice a child. They wanted to sacrifice someone, but not a child. They wanted to sacrifice something else. They needed to find the perfect man to be able to sacrifice. And they had this criteria, and
it's the only time that Sergeant Howie will ever be considered the perfect man, probably.
Yes. 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 I mean, he was faithful to his fiancée, which is something to be, applauded, but he really was on a high horse about some things. Not a hobby horse or a hobby horse costume.
No.
He was on a high horse about his beliefs. He didn't know these people. He just went in there like, my way is the best way, and he's horrified at everything that he sees.
Mm-hmm.
Right from the beginning. Especially because no one admits to Rowan being from there. Like, they've never seen her before. It's like she doesn't exist. And over time, they start to have to admit, oh yeah, Rowan. Yeah.
Oh, did you say Rowan Morris? I thought you said Rowan Malbandabazabada. And I was like, I don't know what you're saying.
I don't know. Yeah.
But, you just got to enunciate better.
Yeah. And here's the picture. And we've never seen her before. And they all are very convincing.
Yeah.
They're like the girls at the school even like are looking at it like they just don't know anything about it. They don't know who she is. Never seen her before, even though there's an empty desk that definitely belongs to her.
Mm-hmm.
It's got her pet cockroach in it. So yeah, let's start at the beginning with Sergeant Howie, who is the main character in this.
Well, even before that, we get the little note. Music by Magnet, which I don't know anything about them, but I'm digging the Celtic folk vibe the whole time. It's fun.
Did you?
Even though we get the, corn rigs and barley over and over and over again throughout the movie. So how many times can you use this same song?
It was important, Pake. I have to tell you that I actually have the soundtrack to this movie.
Doesn't surprise me.
It doesn't? Why doesn't it surprise you? Because I love the movie and I would have all things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep, I have the soundtrack. And I'm not really a big folk person, but some of the songs are interesting.
So is Corn, Rigs, and Barley on the soundtrack 7 times?
No.
They just put it again after every other song?
I manually deleted it off the soundtrack, Pig. I had to go and delete it. I'm like, no, I don't need to hear this one again. I mean, they're just, It is kind of a bit much with it.
But it was a jam. I liked, all like the instrumentation and like everybody. I was like, I mean, I'll get into like kind of jokes and notes about that where I was just like, oh, he's wandered himself right into a horny musical. That's what this is.
Yes, really. I mean, it was a musical. That was one of my notes. Is oh my gosh, I didn't realize this. I've seen it so many times, but it really is a musical. There are different like pieces that are definitely musical. And when I was watching it, I wasn't sure which pieces were going to be in this version because the other version, there's more of the graveyard fornication, I guess you could call it. There's a lot more of certain sexual things. But yeah, Sergeant Howie is a grumpy man from the beginning.
Yeah, he arrives here at Summer Isle. He's looking into this report of a missing child. And immediately, like you said, the people he's talking to are all just like, well, at first because they're like, you can't come here without permission. Which it's fun. It's like everything was so well orchestrated to like get him to like put his walls down, but then have them up at the right time when he was supposed to just like manipulate him to push him to the next steps. Where it's just like, you need written permission. He's like, police business, that counts. And they're like, okay. There's so many things where I was just like, he uses the I'll do what I want because I'm a cop rule.
Yes. Yes. And the villagers very much were like this hive mind. What one group believed, they all believed. It was like one unit. If you were talking to one of them, you knew that everyone was like that. They were all like...
It's just a really demented episode of the Joe Schmo show, or like a season of it. That's what this was. We're all in on it except for this guy. We got to play our parts. How many, test runs did they do?
I know. I mean, they were very calculating the way that they pulled all of that off. And to get the kids to cooperate with it. Mm-hmm. That was...
Yeah. That's probably...
the hardest part.
Speaking from experience of trying to like coordinate things with children, that's the trickiest part, is to get them to all be on the same page and actually accomplish it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And he sees it's a very different place. And as someone who grew up on an island, not a pagan island, but an island, we at least had a bridge to the mainland. Thing. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was a very religious island, I think. It's very religious. It's different there, like growing up on an island. I think that people in our community, it was very close-knit. If you weren't from there, you were from away. It was just different. But I like to think that people on my island were a little kinder, at least to people who were coming in for the first time, than these guys were, because they were right from the beginning. You can't land here. You have to go. You don't belong here. No, you can't have a boat. No, we're not coming to get you. I'm like, okay, Howie, they're trying to give you an out. Go home.
Yeah.
There were opportunities he could have gone or not stayed. He was there on his own, free choice by the end.
Although I wonder, I mean, clearly his plane was sabotaged. How quick did that happen? Who knows?
True. I'm not sure when that happened, because he was there multiple days.
Yeah. Yeah, because he's just having to deal with this, like, we don't recognize her at all. She's not from here, blah, blah, blah. And then, yeah, as it goes and uncovers, it's like the story changes when it needs to. And then it's like, okay,
Yes.
fine, you caught us. Oh, no. Like, just playing right into there. Well, it is this and it is that. Meeting Mae Morrison. It's like, because the letter, which then I was just like, well, somebody's bothered by what's going on because somebody wrote him anonymously. And then it's like, oh, now that was also all part of the plan. So.
Oh, yeah. Lord Summerisle probably wrote it himself.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and so he mentions Mae Morrison, like, oh, we know who that is, and we'll send her to you. And then even she's like, I don't know who that is. This is my daughter back here. She's not credited, and I didn't watch with subtitles, but I think it was Nettle. They're just going for nature names. Meadow, Willow, Nettle makes sense. Although it's less pretty of a name, but, sure.
I think it was actually Myrtle.
Okay, like a crepe myrtle tree. And I was like, because I was like, don't let Mae Morrison have another daughter because she's already running in abs. And this is Dirt Clod. I don't know. I'm trying with the nature names.
I loved his conversation that he had with the daughter, because she's painting in this picture of a hare, because this is a pagan community and Howie doesn't know that yet.
Yeah.
He's just starting to learn these things. And even the shop, I mean, you go in and what she's got there for things that you can buy are shaped like hares and like pagan symbols. He doesn't pay a lot of mind to that, but he is helping Myrtle paint, and she is talking to him about Rowan, and Rowan is a hare that lives in the fields and she likes it. And I think that's from the whole thing that we find out Rowan, quote, died, became a hare, and is now in the field. Like, I feel like it's all connected in some strange story way that they told the story to the kids. Mm-hmm. And he's just shocked that, what do you mean she's in the fields?
Because that's the thing, is I will say, if Howie never shows up, then they would have killed Rowan, so like there was also like the backup plan and like all of that stuff's still there. So it is still like it's a good thing he showed up to selfishly take her place and save her.
They needed to do something because they had good harvests until this year, and that's something we find out later from Lord Summerisle, is that they had great harvests until the one that Rowan was the May Day Queen. Mm-hmm. And they had very little to show for it. And so they knew that they had to do something.
To sign.
And
this is the one you want. It's time for us to give back. Yeah.
Yep. And so we gotta do a sacrifice. And I don't know who hatched the plan to get Howie to be the one to take her place. I mean, it probably was Summerisle coming up with it. Like, well, we don't want to kill one of our own, so we've got to find someone to take the place, and it's got to be a big sacrifice. Although I will say, Howie telling him, if the harvest isn't bountiful next year, they're going to kill you. And I'm like, okay, well, you did just give them an idea to do that, because, his family founded everything, so they own the island. Yeah. They looked to him as a leader, but still, they could blame him for, okay, you sacrificed someone, nothing happened, so we'll sacrifice you. That's who we'll sacrifice. So he gave him that idea. I don't know that would have come to fruition if something went wrong, because Summerisle had told Howie that about the soil, but I don't know how true that was. I feel like the soil isn't as bad as what he was telling Howie.
Yeah. I don't know. Plus, Lord Summerisle just kind of strikes me as the kind of person that, like, if then the next harvest is still not good, then he just has a private plane that carries him away from the island. He's like, see ya, motherfuckers! And then, like, well, I tried that. It was good for while it lasted. But, yeah, now they're going to turn it on me. So, bye.
I know. And Christopher Lee.
Mm-hmm.
This is a, mid-career film for him, was this one.
It's fantastic.
And, he comes off, I think, really well as Lord Summerisle.
He's the best part of this movie for me. I loved him. He's so great.
He's so great. Like, he tells so much just in his face. It wasn't just the dialogue, it was the way he delivered it and the way the nuances in his face as he was doing it. Yeah. And I feel like he had great chemistry with Edward Woodward, where they played off each other really well as like they were adversaries and you'd buy into it. Which, hey, we did cover an Edward Woodward movie before. He was in Hot Fuzz. He was one of the townspeople in Hot Fuzz.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. I've wanted to cover this one for a long time. And I just didn't. Yep. Like, I just kept putting it off. And I'm glad that we're doing it tonight.
So there's a trade-off. We're doing this one this week finally for you in order for something else to happen next week that we'll get into later.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah. And you know what? It had to do with the wheel. It had to do with the wheel and a compromise.
Or if we just want to tell the story, it's like, no, I was like, we have to do it. You said, only if we do the Wicker Man first. And then we fought about it for hours. We could kayfabe it all. I don't know.
We totally could. We're believable. We can do this. We've watched enough wrestling to be able to pull that off.
Storyline it. Make it part of the plot of this podcast now. Like the lore, how we got to this point. No, but the wheel tells us what to do. We follow the wheel. The wheel is our god of the sun.
Yep. It is.
We must appease the wheel and cover movies that sometimes Daphne doesn't want to.
It's the sacrifice that must be made. And
so that our next season may be bountiful.
Exactly.
It's, we do what we have to do.
Agreed. So for me, one of the funniest parts of the movie is when Howie goes to the Green Man Inn.
Yes. The whole thing is interesting. Because at first I'm like, we learned this community is very open sexually. They just like very
absolutely
into everything. But I was like, they're all singing this like pub song, overtly sexual song about this girl right in front of her, and she's into it, and I'm like,
and her father is leading the song. He's part of it.
It's like, this is so awkwardly cringy, though. I'm like,
it is.
Oh, why?
And yes, she is into it. It's so bizarre to me, but also it fits this movie so well.
Yeah, it makes sense when she's yeah. And that's like the first musical number. Like I said, then he wanders into a horny musical, which you learn that the whole village is very tight-knit, obviously. Tight-knit indeed, as he walks outside the inn to see a bunch of people having slow-motion freeze-frame sex on the ground. Yeah.
All close together. And it's not an orgy. There are definitely people, like, together, couples, mating. I called it, I think, the backyard mating ritual. I don't know.
There's a naked woman cry humping a grave, Normal small island town stuff. Daphne knows all about it.
Oh, yeah. Sure. Definitely not. That didn't happen on my island, at least when I was down there living and walking around. The opposite
that you know of
would happen. That I know of. Yeah. Yeah. He's not impressed, though. Howie is not impressed with the singing at all. He's just watching this all happen, horrified that this inn owner is joining in and celebrating the singing about his daughter, and they're basically singing about her like she's a slut. And she probably kind of is, based on other things. Which is another opportunity Howie had for... Yeah.
Well, she has her own whole music number after this. After, he's back up in the room and she's... It starts like banging on the wall in like beat of the music, and then the singing and the song. It's great. I will say, and this is the joke that cracked me up that didn't ruin the whole rest of the scene, because then after I made the joke and wrote it down, then it continued, and then that in my mind, I said, Willow is doing this dance and song that I could only describe as chasing a mosquito around the room after a shower. She's just like wiggling weird, like, oh, and then just slapping things over and over in different places. And I was like, oh, that's what that is.
Do you know it took them 13 hours to film that one? And they used body doubles, like, for it. She was pregnant while they were doing the filming. There are 2 different versions of this. Britt Eklund, who played Willow, later was saying, no, I didn't want a body double. I didn't even know they were doing a body double. But then Hardy, the director, said she's the one who wanted it because she didn't want her rear end to be filmed. I'm like, okay, so you were okay with to be topless, but not your butt. Okay. But they did have body doubles and voice doubles a lot for her.
Well, yeah, that was obviously just whatever. I'm sure it was all Magnet, again, whoever that is, I think is just singing all of the songs, and then people are dubbing in on that. Like,
yeah. I mean, the next morning she's telling him, I thought you were going to come see me last night.
He was real turned on. He has that moment he against the wall. I was like, he really likes that picture on the wall. He's rubbing all over it. Getting the sounds of faint slapping on walls really gets him going.
I guess. I mean, he looked like he needed to relieve himself somehow. And I don't know that he ever has, based on what we saw. He's really, he's so deeply religious and is a virgin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's never had sex. He's engaged to be married. He's very devoted. And yet Willow is banging on the walls and dancing and grinding and... Yeah. The next morning, she does. She said, I invited you to come see me last night. And that's when he says he doesn't believe in premarital sex.
Yeah.
And she tells him, well, you won't want to be around on May Day given the way you feel. And I'm like, probably not, because you're celebrating. You're definitely celebrating fornication and fruitfulness and procreation. All of it. Like, it's all about being fruitful. It's all about fertility. Not of just the crops, but people. It's about everything being fruitful. Literally, when it comes to the apples. And figuratively, when it comes to the women.
Yeah. And he learns all of this information, like, the next day. Speaking of fucking and slapping, that Maypole song fucking slaps. How's that for a segue? The guy that's singing it, and like all the boys have the Maypole things, and they're all dancing around and singing along. I was dancing in my living room, just like, God, this song fucking, what a bop! I love that one. That's a good one. What about the grave? The man, the baby to the boy, to the man, to the grave, to the tree, and it's just like, and then in the tree there's the nest, and then the egg and the bird, and I'm like, hell yeah, just get it. I was loving that one. What a banger!
I mean, it's getting the boys ready for you know, the boys. What it looks like is the girls and the boys are kept separate for like school stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, they're just winding them up and getting them ready to look at sex as a very natural thing that's part of this fertility.
Which honestly,
world.
Good. Like,
okay.
That's, get rid of the sacrifice, sacrificial parts and stuff. And honestly, it's like, sex positivity is a good thing.
Yeah.
I think, like,
absolutely.
It shouldn't be so taboo and weird. It's like, I mean, obviously, like, at a certain age, but it's like a lot of them, it's like, yeah, you don't want kids going into like teenagers and young adults with this like taboo and gross and like negative view of those things. Like it
like
is
they do on the Testament,
natural and positive, and but yeah, so it's like honestly some of those things I'm like, oh, it's great. It's a little overboard in some ways, at least, questionable. The point even Howie's like, when he goes into the classroom for the girls, and it's just like, and the maypole that all the boys are climbing on out there is what? A penis. Yes. Good job.
Yes.
Very good.
He's horrified.
It's like, wait, what?
He's so horrified by that. It's like, it's about fertility. It's about this ritual. It's about this process that is part of their religion, their pagan religion. The generative force in nature. And all he can think of is immorality and how this doesn't match his way of thinking. And even when he goes to the blackboard and wipes off the blackboard to put Rowan's name on it, I'm like, Howie, you're disrespecting this classroom by not even asking someone if it's okay for you to do that. She's got a lesson on the blackboard and you're just wiping it down. I'm pretty sure if you told them her name, they understand. You don't have to write it there.
Yeah. Again, it was because it's like, well, you can't do that. And he just does. It's the I'll do what I want because I'm a cop rule. Seems like a lot of people still use that rule today.
It's a common one.
But yeah, through that, he does uncover that, yes, Rowan Morrison does in fact exist and was in this classroom at one time. And all of the town and the kids even are all just lying and denying that for some reason. So he goes and talks to the teacher outside where he reveals the version of the truth, at least, that is fitting for that time in his journey, that she's dead, except they don't use the D word. So she's just a different part of the energy of nature and the life cycle of their religion and culture. And it sets him like going and like looking at like the graves and like kind of their little like area, which he's looking at one. I was like, ejaculation of serpents, huh? I've never thought of that as protective before, but hey, the more you know. Ding, ding, ding.
Yep, it's an educational movie. Yeah. We learn so much about everything.
Good to know. And it doesn't take him too long. He finds the Rowan grave with the Rowan tree and the Rowan bacon. All of that.
Oh my God. He doesn't know what it is that's hanging on it. And when the guy tells him, he's just like horrified in a Howie way. Horrified in a Howie way isn't necessarily horrified like other people. He internalizes a lot of his terror and horror until the end of the movie. Yeah. You can just tell that he's not pleased because he spends most of the movie mad or irritated.
Takes it out on those poor apple crates in the grave.
Well, he wanted to make a cross. He was so upset that the church was no longer a church. Mm-hmm. And he has that conversation with Lord Summerall later about why there's no church and why things turned this way. When we get there, we'll talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah, just keep seeing other things. Like frog in your throat? Well, it seems the solution to that is the frog in your throat.
No.
For some reason.
My note right here. No. Frogs, all capital letters. No. You know how I feel about frogs. If you have listened to Buffalo, if you haven't, go and listen to this one episode, especially. You learn about how I really feel about frogs. I am not a fan. Yeah.
Just that one episode. You have to figure out which one it is.
Yep. So listen to them all and then come back and report.
Yeah, whichever one.
Howie is so strong in his Christianity beliefs that he can't believe anyone could believe so strongly in their own beliefs. Yeah. And I'm like, how do you not see that you should definitely understand it because of how strongly you believe in Christianity, that others who have different beliefs could also believe as strongly in what they're believing, which is a pagan religion. Yeah.
Which to him, I mean, he's saying that, like, it feels like brainwashing kind of thing because he's realizing, like, people are lying to me because they feel like they have to, like, they're clearly hiding stuff. He's talking to this, like, lady in, like, the town hall or whatever who has the record keeper. and he's going over like death certificates and stuff, and like Clear's like, oh, I knew her very well, and it's like, okay, well then what, is this her? I don't know. She's been gone for 6 months. How do you not recognize her? You just said, well, I don't know her very well. And it's like, you just said, like, he's like, corn, eggs, and barley. All of you are lying to me. Like, clearly you're caught in lies, and now you're hiding something. And it just, gets him more and more frustrated to where, he's then got to head off. He's like, I'm going to take it. Let me speak to the manager.
Oh my God.
Finally, it's like, okay, if you keep saying that all of this stuff has to be done with permission from Lord Summerisle, then I'll set up the meeting. I'll go talk to him.
Well, he's already decided at this point that everyone is raving mad. Quote, raving mad. And I thought when he went into Lennox's, it was really interesting to see all of the weird stuff that Lennox has in his store. Foreskins.
Yeah.
Pigs. Like those pigs that you would dissect in school. Like, he's got all the strange curiosities in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yes, he does go
He's got a jar of dick tips, at least.
If this were an episode of Buffalo Buffalo, that would be the episode title.
Weird. Yeah, and then on his way to see Summerisle, he moves into the next musical number, of course. Bunch of naked women dancing around a fire, singing about a baby in the womb, which a great one.
Yeah,
greatest hits.
It's the fertility dancing ritual.
Mm-hmm. But we finally set up this meeting. We get Christopher Lee as Lord Summerisle, which. My first thought is like, oh God, is he going to get his own musical number too? Please. Which
he does
kind of at the end he does kind of have his own little thing there. So I was like, all right, cool. But I loved Christopher Lee in this role. And again, it's like you said, it's not just the lines he says, his delivery of them.
Mm-hmm.
Some of my absolute favorite quotes are from this scene with their conversation. I was like, but they are naked. He goes, naturally. It's much too dangerous to jump through fire with your clothes on.
I love that.
And I was like, he's got a solid point, honestly.
He really does.
Honestly, he's not wrong. You know what? I'll give him that one, 100%.
Some of the best dialogue was between Howie and Summerisle. Like,
yes.
They had conversations where Howie met his match. He was talking to a really intelligent person who had a comeback to the things that Howie was questioning.
Yeah, like I said, there's a great way with words. He's like, have these kids never heard of Jesus? He goes, himself, born of a virgin, impregnated by a ghost? And I'm just like, yeah. And then the next line is just one of the coolest things I've ever heard. Just boss move. Please sit. Shock is much better absorbed with your knees bent. I'm like, I love it. I was like, I know this guy is sketchy, but I'm a fan.
My note when they're talking about the naked women jumping across the fire was Gilead got it wrong. Jump across the fire to make people fruitful.
Mm-hmm.
It's not clean living. It's
much more
fire
fun.
Jumping naked.
Yes.
That's what's going to work.
It's way more fun.
I liked their discussion on the old gods versus God and why they went this route, like what happened and how Summerisle, became what it is today with the pagan beliefs instead of Christianity. Howie is very judgmental about it. And that's one thing I took from this movie watching it this time is just how judgmental he is. And I'm not saying that I don't like the character of Howie, because I definitely do. I think he's a great character in this movie. And it's really interesting to see everything through his eyes, but I think he's very judgmental towards the villagers. He probably should have just been more concerned than being judgmental. He goes to see Summerisle because he's decided on his own that he wants to exhume Rowan's body. Yes. And Summerisle gives him... Because it's all part of the plan. Mm-hmm. It's part of the perfect plan.
Like, again, it's just like, so can I go ahead and... It's like, I'm pretty sure I already told you yes. Like, it's very... Like, again, just like the way he does that. And then so he does. He gets that permission. He goes and does that. And as the little girl said before, she's a hare.
Yeah. it goes back to the conversation that he had earlier with the teacher about reincarnation versus resurrection, and his beliefs are in resurrection, not reincarnation. And she explains the not using the D word, the dead word, and talking about when human life is over, the soul returns to life forces in another form, like the tree, a hair, like that, the air itself. That is what they believe. And it's much easier for the kids to believe that and understand it than it is to believe the Christian version of it.
Yeah. Yeah, but Howie's not happy about that with the hair, and he's just like, okay, what's going on here? And he's starting to like piece together. It's like, what is actually going on? And he's just like kind of going through his, theories and stuff here, and right there to Summerall is just like, well, he's like, sorry, Mon, I can't help you with your problem. It is what it is. I'll do me, you do Q. Sorry, I can't help it. As terrible as those puns were, I had to have them.
Yeah. Of course you did. You can't help yourself. Don't apologize for being who you are.
Yeah, and how he's got to figure out. So he, has just a little light reading, so he can realize what's happened. Had a bad produce year, and then Rowan was chosen as this year's sacrifice last year. So to appease nature and the old gods. And the whole isle is so deeply invested in its religion that they celebrate it. So, like, of course they're fine with this sacrifice happening. He's like, they're all brainwashed. They're all so deeply into it. But he's like, but somebody had enough of a problem to write me. So, like, he's been manipulated now to, like, he has been put in this I'm the hero position. Yes. So he's blind to what's really going on because in his head, he's like, well, I'm the savior of these people.
Yep, self-righteous. That's what it is. He believes that he's the one that can save Rowan and then save the souls of the community. Because I think it was even beyond Rowan at that point. I think he's looking at them as souls that need to be saved.
Yeah.
They bait him throughout this movie with, you shouldn't be here on May Day. If you don't like that, you shouldn't be... Yeah, you need to leave before May Day. And that is just not subliminal. They are planting seeds in him that, because they know, they have studied him somehow. They know who he is, how he is, and how to get the result they want from him.
Yeah. And they're all talking, it's like, well, he's going to bring back more police. So they sabotage the plane, and he's stuck here anyway, even because it was like, well, maybe he was going to leave. Well, we can't let him have that. But we always have to make it feel like it's his choice. He's like, well, okay, well then, because then he's like, well, if I can't leave, and it's not that he doesn't process it in his brain as like, they're trapping me here because they have some other ulterior motive. He goes, well, then I'll take advantage of this. And then while I'm here, I'm going to find Rowan and I'm going to save her. And I'm going to, again, he's got this, savior mentality of his own. It was like, well, then I'm going to be the good guy. I'm going to be the hero, and I'm going to save the day for her. And then even she was in on it. So it just like adds to that. It's like, it's all how they planned him to like take the full costume. They figured he would. Because I think even like the hand candle that's supposed to put him to sleep for days was like not even a real thing.
No,
like,
that was
just a candle.
Yeah.
But they knew he was awake. They knew he was listening. And it's just like, make him think he has the upper hand. Because I was like, how did you knock the guy out? You hit him in the humpback of the costume. You didn't even touch him.
Yeah.
That's a way to knock him out cold.
Did you see when Howie wakes up in the bed, what was actually there that he saw? It's like a hand.
Yeah.
It's from the woman that's in the coffin that he saw before.
Yeah.
I'm like, they wanted him to get that rise because it would freak him out and make him realize, oh God, this is serious. They've cut off all these things. Like he would think that things were dire and he had to act quickly. I think they were careful in the way that they didn't plant things, but they knew his curiosity was going to win out because he ended up going in and breaking into, I think, Lennox's curiosity shop because he was looking at the pictures. He wanted to find the picture.
Yeah.
To prove the point that Rowan
Because they knew he would. That's why they... I mean, she would have been in the picture anyway. So, like, at the time, he didn't need to see her because he did. But then knowing that will lead to eventually he's going to make that connection and go, well, I have to get back there. I have to see. I have to put the pieces together.
Yeah, and it was strategically not there that first day when he goes into pub because they didn't want to admit to him that they knew who Rowan was. Mm-hmm. And it's all part of this bigger story, this bigger picture.
Yeah. So yeah, he's going to infiltrate the ritual, get in, do that after he's searched for Rowan everywhere, and then realizing, like, well, I just have to be part of it, and then I can swoop in and save her at the last minute, because I can't find where they're hiding her right now. And we get the, like, kind of parade to the sacrifice stuff, which I will forever cherish, the image of Christopher Lee in a dress with a long black wig and a pair of Chuck Taylors.
Wasn't that great?
I honestly, he kind of crushed the look, if I'm being real.
I never noticed the shoes until this watch, and it just...
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh. Yes. Because everything looks so folk and so, like, old school, old worldly, like, lore and everything. But the shoes take you completely out of it. It's
I know.
like, yep,
and I was like,
there
and then
they
he's got
are.
a pair of Converse on, which
Yep.
I didn't realize they were that old because I was like, well, this is in the like early 70s they filmed this. And I was like, how far back do Chuck Taylors go? And I was surprised to learn that Converse and Chuck Taylor started making those shoes in 1917, which there's a fun factoid for you. Yeah.
Over 100 years ago.
Yeah. I did not realize that they have been around that long because I was like, did they have Chuck Taylors in the 70s or is that a different? I was like, yeah, they did because they had them in the 20s. So,
oh my
all right,
goodness.
cool.
That is wild.
Yeah.
And see, because Howie was in the library reading the book on the ritual, he understood different pieces of it. Like there were several different main characters. And I don't know the character's name, but the bigger guy who appears throughout the whole thing is like the hobby horse.
Yeah.
And then Christopher Lee is this other character that's about the earth and the tree and all that. And then there's like a punch, a fool. And McGregor was supposed to play the fool, but Howie steals the costume. He knocks him out, steals the costume.
All part of the plan.
All part of the plan. And the thing is, you're not dancing. I mean, McGregor obviously was going to put everything into the dancing and being Punch. Yeah, Howie, you're not cut out to be Punch.
He's just swinging the little thing, like the flail in his hand a little bit. And he's like, that's good enough.
And Summerall's getting on his case about it because he is like, McGregor, did you drink too much at your pub? Like, why are you not being exuberant in your dances?
Yeah. So we just get like the little like setup. I will say the sword's chopping off the like rabbit hood thing with the little girl Holly wearing it. That was a little tense. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, that was a nice little swerve. I appreciate it. Because like for a second, you like before you really catch on to what's been going on, you're like think, well, was that Rowan? To like he was right there. Did he just do all this to fuck it up at the last second because he didn't do something? Like,
yeah, it was a swerve, but it's all part of the plan. This is all part of this. It's all been orchestrated very carefully by Lord Summerisle.
Yep, because he is the fool indeed. Whole thing was a ruse. Rowan was even in on it, and they lured him in to use him as the perfect sacrifice.
Yeah. They needed the perfect man. They needed someone who would come willingly. They needed someone who was a virgin and a fool. And they tell him that they're going to give him a martyr's death, basically. And it's time to keep your appointment with the Wicker Man. Yeah. Mic drop, name of the movie. Finally, 1 hour and 19 minutes in. You get to see what it is.
Drag him up over that kind of like hill's edge, and then he sees this giant effigy thing sitting there, and he goes, Jesus Christ! I said, no, that's not Jesus Christ, that's the Wicker Man.
That's the Wicker Man. Yeah. Yeah.
They've got all kinds of animals in that thing, too. Just cover all the sacrificial bases, make sure we have them all. Although it seems that the animals can teleport in and out of it at will.
They can. They really can.
I think they're okay.
Yeah. They definitely can.
Yeah, they put him up in that thing and light it up and send him off with one last big song and dance number.
Yep.
As they do.
Yeah. No more Sergeant Howie. And he's praying while he's in there before his part of the Wicker Man catches fire. And it was interesting, too. Like, it's all part of the ritual where they take his clothes off and they wash him. And then they mark him with this yellow paint. And then they put him in this white robe that looks very, like, Jesus-like. And take him in. The big guy takes off his hobby horse and picks him up and carries him up and puts him in there and locks him in.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And he's just has to accept his fate. And he does, say things to them and tells them that it's not going to change anything, that the crops are going to fail, and that he's going to go to a better place, that because he believes his Christian beliefs, that's what he believes, is that they'll all have to deal with what they've done. Or not. And he's going to go to a better place. And he basically is praying to God to like usher him away from this world, because he knows he's going to burn alive or die of smoke inhalation first. I'm not sure what was going to kill him first. A very sad ending. But there were a bunch of points throughout this movie that things could have changed for him if he had done something different. Mm-hmm. The biggest one is Willow. If he had sex with Willow, that's what he needed to do, but he wouldn't. He was so strong in his beliefs. And I'm not advocating that he should have had sex with Willow. I'm just saying there were opportunities for him to give up and go home. Right from the beginning, he could have. When they said, no, you can't come to the island. But they also knew, because he was a righteous man, that he was not going to rest until he found Rowan. And he didn't. And he is united with her for a few minutes as she leads him to the final hill to climb. Mm-hmm. And she's applauded by Lord Summerisle and everyone for her good work. And that's basically how the movie ends.
Yep.
Now, Lord Summerisle did have a music number with the piano. And
there's that too.
He did have that with the teacher. They were singing together. Not probably the song and dance number that you were looking for. But, there was that entertainment. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure how long it took for them to film that part with them dancing at the end. It seems like it would get quite tiring.
Yeah.
Because they were really, really into the swaying part.
I've been doing this for 12 hours.
One of the strangest things was the cockroach that was tied up with a piece of string in the desk, and the little girl is like, poor little thing.
It almost feels like it was like a nod to him, where it was like...
Yeah.
It was like the maypole. So, I mean, Mayday, he's there, and then also, like, he keeps winding himself in circles until he ties himself up to the screw.
Yeah. His reaction, though, was quite funny, where he's like, poor old thing, then why in God's name do you do it, girl? Like, he's talking to her like she's an idiot.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man. Also, the class was working on reading a chapter 5, The Rites and Rituals of May Day. It's like, okay, this is a whole, like, books and chapters and that these kids learn. I also thought it was really funny when Howie wants dinner and then he's so unhappy with what he gets because it's like turquoise beans. And he's like, beans don't look like this when they come out of the can. And she said, Willow says, some things in their natural state have such vivid colors. And he just doesn't accept any of that. Like he's very set in things are black and white and this is how it is.
Mm-hmm.
So I do have a couple of notes. Both Christopher Lee and Edward Woodward consider this movie to be either their favorite or one of their favorites that they've ever done.
I could see that.
Christopher Lee got very little money to be in it. In fact, some people say he didn't get paid at all. But he read the script and he wanted to be part of it so much that he was willing to do whatever to be part of it. So he wanted, I'm glad that you liked his character so much because
he was so good.
Put so much into it.
Yeah. And it was fine. He was taken care of. Listen, he was in Lord of the Rings and Star Wars. He made money. He did good.
Yes, he did.
Was fine.
Yes, he did. They filmed this in October, but it's a springtime movie. Mm-hmm. So they actually, the overview of the island was filmed in South Africa, which at the time it worked. But for the other things, they actually had to glue some flowers onto trees to make it look like
get pretty
springtime. One of the things Christopher Lee really liked about Lord Summerall is that he was complex and intelligent versus just being like the normal, straightforward villain monster that you see in movies, like the bad guy. He had this calm intelligence. Like, he was very eloquent. He didn't come in with this forceful anger. It was all very, like, calm. And yeah, like I said, he really wanted to do it. He pursued the role. They wanted to change the ending and have Rain, by they, I mean the studio and others, have Rain put out the fire in the Wicker Man, and Hardy said absolutely not. I'm glad. I mean, people may say, oh, but, well, then he wouldn't have died. No, the story needed to be the way it was. And I'm glad they left it with that vision. I think it was smart to just do it as it is. I don't think they needed to change it. Anthony Schaefer, who did the screenplay for the movie, also wrote this script treatment for The Loathsome Lambton Worm. That was kind of a direct sequel that he was working on for this movie. It never got made, but there are like copies of it out there, and it had fantasy elements. I think it even included a dragon, and so I'm not really sure how it connected to this, but I haven't read it, so I don't know. And my final thing, we don't talk about the bees. That's all. That's it.
There are no bees.
There are no bees. That's all. No bees. Not today, not tomorrow.
There goes.
All right.
Some feedback. Hopefully it's not bees being angry, buzzing about not being included in this, so we'll see. All right, we do have a little bit of feedback this week on The Wicker Man, and by a little bit, I mean one. But first, we actually do have a couple more from last week with Ready or Not 2. Here I come. So we'll pick up on those ones first. First, Gemma writes in about that one, saying, I really enjoyed it. I will watch anything with Sarah Michelle Gellar, and I'm glad she wasn't totally evil. It was a lot of fun, though, and I loved that the sisters were talking about their issues. I loved the blind fight scene as well. Very funny. It's also fun to see everyone exploding. Always.
That's what this movie is known for. This franchise is all about blowing everything up. Literally, when it comes to people. Tony says, I finally got around to watching this movie. Elijah Wood was a hoot as the straight man in this weird devil-worshipping cult. Every time he said, Hail Satan, I died laughing. No, Frodo, don't go to dark places. I was a little confused on the rules, but I'm sure my questions will be answered by the time I listen to your conversation. I love humor and horror, and compared to last week's movie Anaconda, where a few jokes hit, and this movie I think was more successful.
Yeah. All right, and so like I said, there's one piece of feedback for this week's movie, The Wicker Man, and that is from Catherine. Says, The Wicker Man from 73 is a fantastic background comfort watch for me. I enjoyed building a Snow White Lego set while it played. The music is oddly comforting. Honestly, yeah, because I think I made so many comments about the music. She goes, I think I've seen the Cage/Bees version twice, and I have blacked out most of the details. I wouldn't be disappointed if you skipped the double dip, but if you do cover it, I'll happily watch along. I have plenty of distracting Lego. All right, we'll get to this in just a little bit as far as what's coming up next. We are doing a double dip of sorts. Kinda, a little bit, but it is not that. Yeah, as you've now listened to this episode, Daphne has made it abundantly clear we're not doing the Nicolas Cage one, and I think I'm fine with that. But we've made a couple of little allusions or hints to we might do something in 2 weeks, but we'll get to all of that in a little while.
Yes. So if you'd like to leave us feedback, we've got a channel on the Podcastica Discord server, so you can join us there. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram at Run for Your Lives Podcast, or you can email us at runforyourlivespodcast@gmail.com. If you're enjoying the show, tell your friends. We're available on all the podcast players, including Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and more. Go to runforyourlivespodcast.com for all the links that you're ever going to need, and give us a review on Apple Podcasts, as that's the best way to share the love and get us out there even more. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely, we do. And of course, speaking of sharing the love, you know it. I got to give some shout outs to things going on in the Podcastica universe around us and beyond. A lot of great stuff for you to go listen to and check out in the next couple of weeks. The Walking Dead cast continuing their Walking Dead rewatch. We've got season 6, episode 16, season 6 finale, followed by the season 7 premiere. And for those of you who are rewatching along with them, you know exactly what these are. And yeah, very divisive episodes for sure.
Changed the whole trajectory of the show for fans. Yeah, I have not watched season 7, episode 1 again. I saw it one time, and that was enough.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, Jason and Lucy covering those. So this week, so definitely as a Walking Dead fan, if you're rewatching along with them, or even not, go check that out. Cover those, relive that nightmare. I'm sure their coverage could be great over there. Also, Severance season 2 with Jason and Karen over on Wax Episodic. That coverage there, I think, wrapped up with this week. I think 10 is the final episode there. So
it is.
Yeah, a lot of things kind of wrapping up here. So that coverage of Severance finally caught up on that, so you can check out their coverage of both seasons, and then stick around and hopefully we'll get that third season soon enough. We'll get some word on that. But yeah, you can get their coverage of watching that and getting all caught up. Listen to those episodes there. And then also From season 4 has wrapped up, so you can check out the What Is From podcast to listen to Lizzie and Lisa's thoughts on the finale of that season as well, and those last few episodes, the last few weeks. So check out From coverage there, What Is From. But as there's shows and coverage of shows wrapping up for the seasons, we do have something that is just kicking back up with the House of the Dragon. Episode 3 will be this weekend. And then episode 4 next weekend, because that's how episodes work. And that's how that works. So if you want to get the coverage of those, of course, check out Dragon Cast. Veronica, Wendy, and Rennie have been doing some great coverage over there. So check out those. Man, I always love the House of the Dragon, or really anything Westeros, Game of Thrones universe, but I don't know if it's just because I was just really ready for this to come back, or if season 3, these first 2 episodes so far, have just been incredible, because they really have.
Yeah, it's It's definitely been very intense, and I haven't read the books, but I know some of what's coming, and so I'm just going to leave it at that.
Yeah. Yeah, my little, like, humble brag kind of things. I haven't read the book. I own it. I own a signed copy, but I haven't read it yet. I met George R.R. Martin. I might have mentioned that before. He's such a sweet little man for all the terrible things that he has thought of and done in his books.
Absolutely.
And then, but outside of that, so definitely check out all of that on Podcastica. Of course, then give some shout-outs to our other friends as well on the Pirate Core Entertainment Podcast Network. The Vamp cast over there covering the Vampire Lestat, so you can check that coverage out over at Pirate Core, while our good friends at TV Podcast Industries are covering Spider Noir episodes over there. As that, it all dropped at once, so you can go through and binge and then listen as they put out episodes, or watch along with them, however you want to do it. But yeah, check out coverage of Spider Noir there. If you want more of me and Daphne, especially because we've kind of hinted at a little bit, we are taking next week off. We'll talk about that again in just a little bit. So if you really, really miss us for a week, you can listen this week and next week to the Buffalo podcast, where you'll still get me and Daphne with our friends Jeff and Jerry. Not covering movies or TV shows, but just being funny and stupid. Trying to make each other laugh, hanging out, chatting, playing games, being ridiculous, having a good time. Just pals and buds being friends and other synonym.
Being ridiculous, really.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is ridiculous. I can't believe that we've been doing it for 2 whole years.
Yeah, I just got I happened to be looking at our Buffalo Facebook page yesterday for some reason, and I realized that it was exactly 2 years to the day that we posted the first episode.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that it's been that long, but it's also super fun to get to look forward to that ridiculousness every single week. Not next week, we won't be doing that, but we'll be back at it in a couple weeks.
We will still have an episode for you next week on that one, but not here.
Yeah,
and so we'll talk about that right now. As usually I'd say, so Daphne, what are we doing next week? But yeah, we are taking the week off, taking a little break with just traveling and stuff, to where instead of even trying to coordinate even just the feedback recording the night before, we'll take a little break because we're doing fun stuff. But we will be right back at it in 2 weeks with the second half of this kind of double dip thing. I'll let Daphne take what that is, though, and tell you what we're doing in 2 weeks. In a fortnight.
Should we tell them? I mean, should we tell them? I feel like we could. Okay. So, when a grieving young woman joins her boyfriend and his friends on a trip to a remote Swedish festival, what begins as an idyllic cultural retreat slowly transforms into an increasingly disturbing nightmare. And yes, oh my god, it's a nightmare because, yes guys, after 259 episodes and many declarations that we should not, would not, could not do this movie, we are going to discuss Ari Aster's 2019 film, Midsommar.
Yes, we're doing it. It came up on the wheel off the air. Sometimes we just spin the wheel for an idea. We haven't done it in a while, and the first time Daphne requested it, it delivered a nightmare upon her door in the form of Midsommar. And she said, only if we do Wicker Man first.
Yep.
To set my brain in the right place. So that's why we did Wicker Man 73 this week. So that in 2 weeks, in the next episode, we're doing Midsommar.
We are. July 17th, the episode will drop. You have 2 weeks to look forward to that. And I'm sure you're probably curious, considering how much we have talked about this movie, and I know I didn't love it. At least I've mentioned that a million times, I think. We trust the wheel, and when the wheel says that we need to do that movie, I knew there was a chance it could come up, and it did, but I felt better about it giving our coverage of The Wicker Man first. And so, in 2 weeks, we're going to drop Midsummer.
Mm-hmm. At about midsummer. So
Yeah.
perfect timing, really.
Yeah. Given the heat wave that's going on here in New England, I wish I could say that next week I'm going someplace that's cooler. No, I'm not. Not gonna happen.
But yeah, so until then, we'll see you. We won't see you. If we did see you through whatever device you were using to listen, that would be a little creepy. But
absolutely,
you'll hear us in 2 weeks.
You will. And with that, we've reached the end of another interesting episode of Run for Your Lives. Thanks everyone for listening. I'm Daphne.
And I'm Peg.
And if you have to run, you better run for your lives.
Has nobody told these children about Jesus?